And there's a lot of work to change in these axles. That's why it didn't happen in the first place. We got to pull e-brake cables, hydraulic brake lines. We're going to redo the springs on this one because we only got 4. And if the airbags go flat, we end up rubbing on the fender wells with dualies. So put more springs. But we're getting there, I guess. That's where it ended up. It was supposed to go in the shop, but it was hard to back it up with the tow bar. We got the axle out. We got the axle in, or under I should say, just while I had help. Now we're going to address the spring issue, because if our airbags lose air with dualies on here, we run into a clearance problem with the fender well. So we only got 4 springs on this. We got our stack made up on the work van. It's 11 springs. I was going to do 12. Most you can buy is 10 actually in a stack, $600, but we basically pulled the stack of 10 off of there and then added 1 and changed up the broken ones. So we got the springs and the axle and everything mounted. These two 35-75s are they're too fat. They're hitting the old airbag in there. So I'm gonna go with an 85 series tire, and obviously fender flares of some sort, and then we'll be good. I'm gonna try an 85 series tire, see if they clear. Might need to take the airbags right off. So we got the cube van, dually axle, and springs too, actually, on the Hutterite van, as it's called. We got singlies on it. They stick out a little bit, 3 inches wider. We got singles on it just because we have 2 sets of single chains, and this isn't a locker, so we're gonna have problems in Saskatchewan. So we got our aggressive tires mounted on single wheels, but we got another problem. This is our broken rear end, which I'm considering welding solid again, putting back, but thought that little electrical connector was for the anti-lock brakes. Of course, it's for our speedometer too. So now our stupid van has no speed input on the computer, so the transmission doesn't shift as it should. It's still drivable, but you know, it's irritating. Well, this is my working conditions here. Just non-stop snow. We could get this towed to the city and then have a transmission shop pull the transmission, and they've already told me that they won't do what I need doing for less than cost of a rebuild, which is at least $3,000 with them pulling it out. I almost got this thing out now. It's just 1 torque converter bolt. I'm using a 1989 manual. This is 96. It looks like they added a torque converter bolt in the newer models here, but I'll show you the other problem. Part of the problem, we have a plan A and a plan B here, because this all started, well, we'll show you the axle. This all started with the rear diff. That's where we parked it for a few days there, changed the diff. Oh, we got the dually diff out of the cube van here, which is also 1989, and it's got no speedometer sensor, so the transmission starts shifting all funny and just hunting between gears, and it just got really hot. Blew the front seal. $3 item, about $500 to pull it out. We blew this seal. We'd have her out and back in probably 2 days, but the whole problem is the no speedometer input. So I just had the brilliant idea maybe the front ABS signal generator. Now I had intended, we need a plan A and plan B because we're running out of we don't want any more issues, and we sure don't want to take this transmission out again. It's taking me 2 like 5-hour days in this cold weather and snow and stuff, so I'm gonna end up shoveling for some of that time. So our problem is, of course, the speedometer was driven from the rear end, not from the transmission. We don't have this gear on our transmission. Of course, that's mechanical. We're looking at electrical pulse generator. But I did locate a mechanical speedo cable to electrical pulse generator for a Ford on eBay, which is just brilliant. So I got to put this shaft in my transmission. That's going to basically be a whole teardown, like transmission rebuild, just about. I'll have a speedo drive, and my electric pulse generator speedo cable will come eventually, and I will put it in here, hook it up to the speedometer, and hopefully the speedometer says what it should, and the computer is happy, and it shifts normal. Plan B. Plan B is probably going to happen first because the wonderful eBay seller that sold me the pulse generator sent me a thank you for your purchase. The pulse generator has been sent to us. As soon as we receive it, we'll send it to you. So, I need it yesterday. I'm going to get it God knows when. So plan B we're going to try first is actually hooking up the speedometer cable to the pulse generator on a front wheel for the anti-lock brakes. I don't really care for anti-lock brakes. I'm pretty happy to not have them. And I think that may or may not work. It might be all out to lunch. But a little towing incident. We had to tow this back because we had no transmission seal. Would have taken gallons and gallons of fluid to get it back the way it was leaking out the front seal. Same as the old Cube van, which we'll also rebuild. Be a spare motor, spare trans. Well, diesel, but we blew a hole with a rock in our HID super driving lights. Those saved our ass in a real whiteout condition. Pointing them at the ground, we could see 2 feet ahead of us instead of seeing nothing. And the worst one is the LED light bar completely destroyed.